Let me tell you a simple story. There was a boy who had two fathers. One was his real father, highly educated, respected, had a good job. Everyone thought he was successful. But every month, he struggled with money. The other father was his friend's dad. He was not highly educated, but he was very rich. He didn't worry about money at all. Now imagine this. Two smart men, both working hard, but one is always worried about money and the other is financially free. Why? That's where the real story begins. As the boy grew up, he started listening to both of them. His real father always said, "Study hard, get a good job, and your life will be secure." But his rich dad said something very different. He said, "Don't work for money, learn how money works." At first, this was confusing, because in our life too, we are taught the same thing, right? Go to school, get a job, earn salary, but no one really teaches us how money actually works. One day, his rich dad taught him the most important lesson of his life. He said, "Most people don't become rich because they don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities." Now, this sounds complicated, but it's actually very simple. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Simple. But here's the problem. Most people think they are buying assets, but actually, they are buying liabilities. For example, you buy an expensive phone to look rich, but it doesn't give you any money. It only takes money, so it's a liability. You take a loan to buy a bike. Every month you pay MI. That's also a liability. Even a big house, if it's taking money from your pocket every month, it is not really an asset. But rich people think differently. They focus on buying things that make them money, like investments, business, rental income. They don't try to look rich. They focus on becoming rich. And this is where most people make a mistake. They spend money to impress others instead of building their future. Then comes another important part of the story, the rat race. This is where most people are stuck. You work hard, you earn money, you pay bills, and then you repeat the same thing again and again. And when your salary increases, your expenses also increase. You buy better things, you upgrade your lifestyle, but your financial situation doesn't really change. You are just running faster, but still in the same place. Rich people escape this cycle in a simple way. They don't spend first, they invest first, and then they spend what is left. This one habit changes everything. Another thing the boy realized, school never teaches us about money. We learn math, science, history, but no one teaches us how to manage money, how to invest, how to build wealth. That's why many educated people still struggle financially, because they have degrees but not financial knowledge. As he learned more from his rich dad, he noticed something interesting. The difference between rich and poor people is not just money, it's thinking. Poor people often say, "I can't afford this," but rich people ask, "How can I afford this?" This small change in thinking changes everything. Because when you say, "I can't," your mind stops. But when you ask, "How can I?" your mind starts working. Another lesson he learned was about work. Most people work only to earn money, but rich people work to learn skills. Skills like communication, sales, business, because they know skills create opportunities, not just salary. But there is also a problem. Two emotions stop most people from becoming rich: fear and greed. Fear says, "What if I lose money?" So people never start. And greed says, "I want money fast," so people make wrong decisions. Rich people are not fearless, but they learn how to control their emotions. They think long term. In the end, the biggest lesson was very simple. If you want to become financially free, start building assets. Start small. Save a little, invest a little, learn a little, and keep going. Slowly, your assets will grow, and one day, your money will start working for you. And that is the real goal, not just earning money, but creating a life where money is not your biggest worry. So now the question is, after listening to this story, will you continue the same life, or will you start thinking differently? Because your future depends on the choices you make today. If you learned something from this story, type asset in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, life-changing